Today we're focusing on two completely different scooters with completely different target audiences to see which style might work best for you. Hey guys, it's Steve from Scooter King, and in this video we're checking out two completely different styles of scooters. One, the RS5 series of scooters from Roadrunner at a C-type suspension and really focuses on premium components and overall ride quality. And the other one is the Solar P series, which really focuses on portability and overall value. Let's see which one might work best for you. Side by side, both scooters are fairly similar in overall dimensions, with the Solar being slightly more compact. We've modified the rear foot section of the Solar and added 2 extra bars here to the fin. This gives you a bit more room for your rear leg. The Roadrunner actually has its own dedicated rear leg resting plate. We've added some small modifications to both scooters. On the Roadrunner, we've added some rear view mirrors and an extension bar, and on the Solar, we've swapped out the grips as well as adding end mirrors. These two scooters are separated by a pretty significant price gap, and the included components on both really reflect that. The Solar packs a lot of features and value into a scooter that costs $12.99. With a top speed of 40 plus miles an hour, it's got a 52 volt, 18 amp hour battery system, a sine wave controller, front quad hydraulic suspension. It's got a large rear shock absorber and 10-inch pneumatic tubeless tires with self-healing technology, dual 1200 watt motors with a 2400 watt peak power, 25 to 30 miles of range, a weather rating of IP54, and a current list price of about $12.99. The Roadrunner RS5 series of scooters is basically more of everything. Top quality components, motors, and battery with a 50 mile an hour top speed, dual 1400 watt motors, a 52 volt 2300 amp hour battery, 32 in the Max series, charging time of about 9 to 10 hours, up to 40 miles of range and 50 miles of range in the Max version, nut hydraulic disc brakes, front and rear hydraulic spring shocks, 10-inch tubeless tires, 10.5-inch on the Max series, a weather rating of IP67, and a current MSRP of $17.99. Both scooters fold up surprisingly small for their size and their weight, but here the Solar really wins out. With its collapsible handlebars and its telescoping stem, it folds from the bottom of the stem down, making this an incredibly compact overall package. The RS5 models fold from about the top quarter of the stem down and have a latching mechanism in the back, so this also makes a pretty compact overall package, but its overall size is a bit larger and it outweighs the Solar by about 25 pounds. When fully assembled, the latching mechanism on both scooters feels really solid and secure, but there's a bit more play in the Solar P1 design just because of the collapsing handlebars and the telescoping stem design. The Solar P1 series is an easy lift at just about 65 pounds, can be done one-handed if need be, and you could carry it up a flight of stairs, and putting it into the trunk of a car or a vehicle like the back of this truck is a much easier lift, and it's pretty maneuverable as the overall dimensions are pretty compact. The Roadrunner RS5 series of scooters, by comparison, is quite a bit heavier. The regular models weigh in at about 88 pounds, and the Max series is over 90 pounds. This is definitely a two-handed lift for sure, and putting this into the back of a trunk or the back of a truck in this particular case is a bit more stout of a lift. And because of the handlebars not folding down, this may be difficult to get into a car. So this isn't necessarily a portable scooter. And if you're trying to get this into the trunk of a car, you're probably going to need help from someone else. Getting it into the truck here is a bit of a lift, but a bit easier to do simply because of its extra size. The included components are really where these two models start to differ. The Roadrunner series has a headlight that is surprisingly effective compared to the Solar's much dimmer, although that's been replaced for the 3.0 version, which is a much better pattern, but the Roadrunner here wins out. So the problem with most scooter headlights, as you can see, is that even if they're really bright, they're a really narrow beam. This is a really good example of a really bright, fairly decent scooter headlamp. This one comes on the Solar P series, and the new 3 even has 2 of these, but they're still super directional. So as you can see, especially out in a place like this that's really just completely dark, that isn't going to do a whole lot for you. The overall pattern for the headlight is a nice balance of brightness, and it's surprisingly bright for a scooter headlight. Quite a bit brighter than any of the other stock scooter headlights that I've seen. But they've done a nice thing where the bottom of the lamp goes all the way down to the front of the scooter, and the top is actually cut off at the horizon. And this is a really nice balance of light where you need it. You're not blinding the drivers coming into, you know, your direction, but you've got all the light where you need it the most. The solar cockpit is pretty straightforward here with its horn control and headlamp, as well as the dual motor and eco switches on the left-hand side, and then the digital controller and finger throttle on the right-hand side here. The Solar version 3.0 controller has actually done away with the eco and dual motor switches, and now it's all done from the new style controller here. This is shown with a key start, but the fingerprint edition is still available as an option. The RS5, by comparison, has a center-mount LCD panel that shows all the relevant controls, including your P settings. A key switch start. On the right-hand side here, we have the thumb throttle. And on the left-hand side here, we have a fully metal control console. This has our power button, our dual and single motor switches, our turn signals, our horn and headlamp, and these are illuminated at night as well, by the way. The mirrors and the extension bar here are modifications that we added later. The Solar has illuminated turn signals from the left and right only on the rear, offers mechanical braking, which is surprisingly effective, and a really roomy deck, even though the overall size of the scooter is slightly smaller. This makes for a really comfortable overall ride on the Solar. The RS5 series of scooters has a bit more advanced lighting package, left and right turn signals on the back and the front, also with the illuminated brakes, and the side reflectors makes it a bit easier to see. Those nut hydraulic brakes are very smooth and very capable, and the long and spacious deck and rear footplate make for a very comfortable ride. Both the Roadrunner and the Solar use far more robust tubeless tires, but one of the biggest differences in design between the Solar and the Roadrunner series of scooters is the battery itself. The battery in the Solar is not removable, which means if you want to do any changes or swap outs to it, you have to remove the entire deck, whereas on the Roadrunner, it actually has a keyed entry. You simply lift up the top deck and remove the battery. This makes things like winter storage a real joy, simply because you can take the battery out and keep it inside, as opposed to storing the scooter itself, maybe in a shed or in a garage where it could withstand farther colder temperatures than the battery is designed for. The Solar P series of scooters pack an amazing amount of hill climbing punch. Their dual 1200 watt motors pack an amazing 2400 watts of peak power, which means they can climb hills most scooters in their price category can't. In this example, the Solar is climbing a 30-degree grade hill for over 1.5 miles straight, while simultaneously maintaining 26 miles an hour constantly. The RS5 series of scooters pack an even more powerful dual 1400 watt motor system. This gives them an amazing amount of hill climbing power, shown here climbing the exact same 30-degree hill for 1.5 miles, while consistently maintaining a speed of over 35 miles an hour up this brutal torture test of a hill. This is where the price difference between the two scooters really shows, as overall the RS5 is a stronger competitor. The torque on the P1 series is impressive and gets up to 30 miles an hour incredibly fast. 38. And there's 40. This is the final run of our 3 total top speed runs here on the Solar P series. We got a little bit of headwind, but our final tally after 3 total runs is 40 plus miles an hour on the Solar P1 series. These guys pack a lot of serious top speed punch for a scooter that's less than $1,300. And this is the last of our top 3 speed runs on the RS5. And just like that, we're up to 30, 40. This thing has amazing torque. So even after 3 runs with a slight headwind, we're still averaging about 47 miles an hour on this thing. And this is really where the extra cost really shows its true colors here. The RS5 series of scooters just show incredible performance for the money. So it's really up to you as far as what you're looking for. If value and absolute performance per dollar is what you're after, then without a doubt the Solar P1 series wins hands down with its portability and its performance on those powerful dual motors. If you're looking for ride comfort, premium components, and an overall quality, stable ride, the RS5 Max wins hands down. So it really just depends on what you're after. Hey, if you learned something or if this was helpful in any way, please hit the subscription and notification bells. It helps keep a young channel like this going and helps me make more videos like this. Stay safe, have fun. We'll catch you guys in the next video.